Hello and welcome back to the Cooking with Ruf cooking show on YouTube. Folks, we have reached the time of year where it is time for you to start thinking about your favorite stew, your favorite soup, your favorite chili. And if you will pair this item that we're going to show you how to make today on the Cooking with Ruf show with your favorite soup, stew, or chili, it will enhance your eating experience. Folks, we're going to show you how to make today a very easy and very fast homemade buttermilk cornbread. And we're going to show you how to get it all done right here today on Cooking with Ruf. All right, folks, it is time to run through these ingredients, and the key to many of the recipes that I do here on the show is indeed the preparation. And so we have all of our ingredients laid out here, from dry ingredients to the wet side. So in here, I have 1/3 cup of sugar. In here, we have 3 teaspoons of baking powder, a pinch of baking soda, and a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. In here we've got 1 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour and 3/4 cups of yellow cornmeal. This bowl we have 2 eggs. Of course, we have our buttermilk that's gonna make it buttermilk cornbread. And then in our pan, we've got about 3 tablespoons of butter and maybe 1/8 cup of vegetable oil. And what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to go ahead and put that in the oven. The oven is preheated to 375 degrees. We're going to put that butter and that oil in there and allow that butter to melt down while we're putting all of this stuff together. And then we'll come back and show you how to get that cornbread in that pan and get this thing going. Let's go today on Cooking with Ruf. All right, folks, the first thing we're going to do is we are going to put our butter and vegetable oil into the oven, which is already preheated at 375. All right, and then we are going to start combining our ingredients. So let's add all our dry stuff together. We got our baking powder, baking soda, salt mix, our sugar. Put that in there. Let's go ahead and stir that in. Get our dry combined. So now we have all of that, our cornmeal, our flour, our sugar, our baking powder, baking soda, salt, all combined in one. I'm gonna just go ahead in here and create a little well in the middle like I do with the biscuits. To that well, we're going to add our 2 eggs that go in there, and we're going to go ahead and start adding our buttermilk as well. So I don't have a measurement on the buttermilk. Again, if you watch this show, you watch some of the other recipes, you know that sometimes it's about feel, and you'll know when you get it to the right feel. I'll try to show you what that is here once we get everything all whipped together. Now we're just combining that buttermilk in. Let's come back in here and add a little bit more. But if I had to estimate, I'd say it's probably 1 cup, 1.5 cups of buttermilk, just to give you a ballpark. So you want to kind of stir it, beat it until it's smooth. And that's really about the consistency you're looking for there. We'll add a little bit more buttermilk to it, but I think we're good to go. And then we're just waiting on our butter to melt. And I'll show you what we do with that here when we take that out of the oven. Melted in the oven, it is time to do an about face to the Cooking with Ruf stovetop so that we can remove this butter. Ladies and gentlemen, be careful because it is hot. Man, listen to that sizzling and that bubbling. We're gonna take that hot butter and oil and we're gonna pour it on the top of that cornbread batter. Alright. Put it on there. Sit that down here. And we're gonna stir that oil into the batter until you can't see the oil anymore. Cooking with Ruf, that look like a lot of grease on there. That makes some good cornbread, y'all. That makes some good cornbread. We're gonna go ahead and start pouring that batter into our pan. All right, folks, that's it. Now we're going to take this, we're going to do another about face. Because this pan is indeed hot. We're going to put this into the Cooking with Ruf oven. Bake it for 30 minutes. All right, folks, we have reached the end of the 30-minute baking period for the cornbread. So we're going to do another about face to the Cooking with Ruf oven. Take a peek here at this cornbread. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn it on broil on high. So we're setting the timer for 2 minutes on that broil phase, and then we'll just keep peeking at it just to make sure we don't burn the top of that cornbread. All right, folks, that timer has gone off at the end of the 2-minute period, and I say we're probably spot on for where we want to be, what we want that cornbread to look like with that brown top on it. And Lord, we're gonna let it cool for a little bit. We're gonna cut into it, and then it's gonna be taste time. Lord have mercy. Oh yeah, man. All right, folks, we have reached the grand finale of the Cooking with Ruf homemade buttermilk cornbread episode. And real quick, I like personally eating where the edge has been cut. I know some people like to eat that crispy edge that's been against the pan. So comment down below, what do you prefer? That edge, that crispy edge, or the cut side? And let me know what you think down below. So let's go ahead and get into this, y'all. I guarantee you, once you try this recipe, you will not want to have that soup or that stew without it. Man, it is so fluffy. Man, look at the bottom on that, perfect color on that bottom. Man, let me get into this thing, man. All right, here we go, y'all. Buttery. Perfect texture. If you want to amp up your next soup, stew, or chili, give this homemade buttermilk cornbread recipe a try. And we showed you folks how to get it all done right here today on the Cooking with Ruf show on YouTube. And we thank you for joining us, and we will see you next time.